Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 2nd of October 2022. Today's video is Iran and the price of freedom. Um, I chose this video because there's important things are happening in the Middle East region, and I'm hoping to explain it to the people who don't know the culture and the what's going on in this area. Okay. I know a few people, they send me email to speak about other important things. And actually, it was in my mind to speak about it. I considered it, but I have to wait until we see where Iran is going. Unfortunately, I don't have very good news about what's going on in Iran. And the reason is dictators and dictatorship, they have tools that can crush men and women. Recently, the president of Iran, his name is Raisi, he gave order to put more surveillance cameras in the capital, Tehran. Why would you put surveillance cameras that has facial recognition? It's very clear to capture those who are against the government, can speak against the government, the ruler, the caliphate, the man in the position of God on earth. How dare you? How dare you? There was a comment that said, shame, because women are taking initiative in Iran to try to change that destructive uh, culture that invaded not just Iran, but North Africa, Egypt, and many other countries, uh, brought destruction. And they want to get rid of that. They hate that headscarf and the covering and all that uh, activity that it's just like for show, that we're modest, we're good. Uh, Iran, one of the countries that actually kept their language. By keeping your language, you keep your culture. So you know that you don't belong to the invader who came 1400 years ago. Unfortunately, in Egypt, we lost our culture. We lost our language. We lost our heritage. And with that, we became retarded, backward. Wherever this ideology set foot, the area in this who follow this ideology becomes retarded. And that's why the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia wants to get rid of that. Okay, he took the authority from the religious leaders first. Unfortunately, in many countries, religious leaders in this Middle East region and all the countries that they follow this kind of culture that came invading, they're all retarded. They're all backward. Even if they were advanced previously in the past, okay, they lost it. They lost it. Um, yeah, that comment, shame on Iranian men because they are not taking the initiative. I wouldn't put it this way. I will actually be careful not to say that. And the reason here is you seem to be either from a European country or like from America, the Americas or some place like that. So you have freedom of speech and you can criticize the government, at least in America until now. Verbally, we can criticize the government. I will get to that a bit later. Um, so they put surveillance camera to see who's doing what and to be able to recognize who this is, give you the information of that person. Why do you want the information of this person? Because if you are a bad boy or a bad girl, according to the gods, the representative of God in the office, in the presidential office of Iran, God's representative has to take action. That is actually in the teaching. He's God's representative on earth. They call it Khalifatullah ala al-ard, meaning he represents God. So who is going to stand against God? So the president of Iran ordered facial recognition cameras to be installed more to capture people. And when people heard that, and he gave speech, he said, I will not allow that to go on. And he put cameras. Those who know what will entail, they would do. Could we say shame on them? Men and women left. Could we say shame on them? It is hard. I can't say that. And the reason here is uh, military people are trained to withstand torture in case if they get captured by the enemies or by the enemy forces. Some of them give in and they give the information they know. Some are well trained and they have a strong determination and they withstand the torture and they don't give anything. But when you are captured by your own forces, by your own country, by your own people in this region, I know what they do. You see, you could withstand torture. You're a mentally very tough person, and there are many men and women who could actually withstand torture, physical torture to death, and they will not give anything. But when you are caught in your own country by your own people, you have a family, you have brothers, you have sisters, you have wife or husband, you have children. All are these involved. Bring them in. So it's not torturing you now. They bring your wife in front of you and they have a person raping her right in front of you, raping your daughter, raping your granddaughter, raping your son, raping you in front of them. That's a different type of torture that even the enemy cannot do. If you're captured by enemy forces, they have no way of reaching your wife or children or grandchildren. And that's why many of these people left. I can't criticize them because that is a heavy price. However, freedom has a price. And I compare that to the United States of America when they got rid of the British authoritarian over them, they had to pay a certain price. I don't know exactly what happened, but there must have been similar situation like that when uh, a man who was agitating against the British crown captured. Probably he was tortured. His wife was raped in front of him. I'm not saying this is right, but there are many evil people. They do evil things. They could have raped his daughters, his daughter-in-law. They could have done so many evil things towards this person. And the question is, how much do you really want freedom? How much are we willing to sacrifice for the sake of my freedom? You have to pay that price. I have to pay this price. Otherwise, you will not be free. So when you have countries like Middle Eastern countries and Islamic, those who follow the Islamic dogmas and stuff like that, when the Caliphate, the representative of God on earth, sees that you are speaking ill of him, you are speaking ill of God. The Almighty God has been insulted, so you ought to be tortured, raped, whatever, all allowed at this point by God. Uh, that takes us to dictatorship countries, and like making certain group of people uh, like Satan in the flesh. Hitler, for example, to gain momentum and to gain popularity, he had to find a group of people and put all the blame on them. All of his failure and all of his problem and all of the problem of the German people on this group. And that was the Jews and the Gypsy. He didn't like them, so may as well villainize them. North Korea, China, Venezuela, all these dictatorship countries, they have to find uh, a group of people to be the villain, the evil guys who are stealing our wealth and our freedom. You can speak ill of Kim Jong-un or his father or grandfather. You can speak ill of Xi Jinping. You can't criticize them. They are on top. They are in the position of God. The same thing in our culture. The leader is in the position of God. Can't criticize him, and if you do, you will pay dearly. So many people who are from this region, they don't want their family to suffer. So they pull back. So you don't hear so much now about the Iranian people protesting as in the beginning, and the movement seems to be dying. There is hope. There is hope because that happened now, yes. But evil people, these representative of God on earth, they will keep making mistakes and there will be another, uh, like Arab Spring was 2011, there will be another Persian Spring or Arab Spring coming because the Arab Spring 2011 They remove Mubarak, who was a dictator protected by the military and the police, and the religious authority polish apple for him. He been removed. Now the religious authority speak ill of him when he was removed. He is no longer the representative of God on earth. He doesn't represent God. They put another one. Now the new one is the representative of God on earth. And everybody has to bow. Maybe not literally, but he has to pledge allegiance to this representative of Allah on earth. And if you speak ill, you can speak ill as much as you want of your neighbor, but you speak ill of him, the hand of the government comes after you. The police, the military. So I see hope in Saudi Arabia, which was dark, living in the dark ages just 5 years ago. Now it's catching up with Europe, with America, breaking away from that nonsense that they adapted for so many years, 1400 years, breaking away. Iran will follow soon because Saudi Arabia represents Sunni Muslim, Iran represents Iran represents Shia Muslim. They are both Muslim, they are both coming from the same source, huh? The same, you know what I mean? I don't say bad words. We can disguise it. They are both from the same bass hole. Bass is a fish, but you know what I mean. I don't say the other word. They are both coming from the same bass hole. All right? There is hope, and people are already with the internet, people are breaking away from that nonsense. So there is hope. So the president of Iran, maybe he took that route. Maybe he succeeded to stop the people. But the people are boiling. And at certain point, there will be an explosion. In Egypt, the people are boiling. In all of North Africa, the people are boiling. They are sick of this ideology. It's just they don't have enough in them to throw it to the garbage. But it will happen pretty soon. Pretty soon. There is hope. We thank you very much. We hope to hear from you. We appreciate your comment.